I'm against it, totally against it. Most of the time, I see violence in the what they call it, low faculty in these faculties of the uh, humanities yeah, humanity majors. So as for me, I said I'm against it, and most of the time, as for the reasons, it happens because some students, like they come to university and they start studying at university without knowing their responsibilities, without knowing anything, and most of the time their average in high school is low, and they just get in because they have connections at the university, and so what they do is that they just spend time at the university. They don't come to study, they just come to spend time. And another reason is that the university itself the university itself let this happen. They don't prevent this by preventing these students from coming into the University of Jordan or other universities, for instance. We still another reason for that is that students have students are like small-minded, or not small-minded, I'm not sure about the word, but that they think that everything should be as I want, everything should be as like the way I decided, you know. So like if anyone comes to you and tells you hi in a way, like the other person is going to be angry for this man saying this hi in this way. Yani. As for the solution, I'm going to say that our university has to limit the acceptance of students by looking at their averages and not accepting anyone who comes by any connection or any type of study like this, that he comes at a university without any knowledge, without any like knowledge of life, without having intelligence.
I was told that the topic is violence at the campus, at the University of Jordan in general. I think that maybe it happens because students they can't express themselves freely. They can express themselves in certain events or in certain ways, so that affects how they express themselves, how they express their feelings, or how they in general express their being. So they end up like maybe expressing themselves using fights or violence or screaming or shouting. And I think it has to do with the Jordanian culture, because like as a culture, like since childhood, children are taught to, like, if someone hits you, hit back. Don't like ask why did you hit me, or don't try to solve it peacefully. Just go straight for violence. Don't look for any other solutions. And that's a big problem actually, because as you can see, it's like starts from childhood and keeps growing into teenager, into adolescence, and then into adulthood, and that leads into fights on larger scale, tribal fights, for example. And I think one of the solutions to at least solve the violence in the universities, actually, for me, I think there are two solutions. One of them is to start educating children while they're in school, and start to work at them while they're in their early years, to try and teach them that there are other ways to solve problems than just using your fists. You can use logic, you can use kind words, you can even try to just like, okay, I don't want to fight. I don't know how to phrase that.
I've been teaching English here for a very long time, so I've seen a lot of violence in the university, especially in the last couple of years. It's gotten much worse. A lot of it has to do with elections. A lot of it happens between different tribes, and a lot of times it's over a girl. Now, to solve it, I guess you would have to find the problem first. Most of the violence is definitely coming on the arts side of the university, which includes business, humanities, education, A lot of it is tribal based, meaning that if one person is in trouble, the whole tribe will come back and then they start to fight. They start to throw stones. They start to break the furniture. If it's a fight between tribes, or if it's a fight over a girl, the people have to be held accountable for their actions, meaning that it doesn't matter who their father is, it doesn't matter if they're graduating, but if they've committed the crimes and they were involved in the fight, then they have to be suspended. Now, I don't know what the university regulations are. They might be for 1 semester, it might be for 2 semesters, it might be expelled, which means totally gone from the university. But they're not allowed to come back, meaning they're not to be forgiven, because the other students know that they will be forgiven, and they will just do it anyway. If it's because of elections, if the violence is because of the elections, it should be that whoever they are supporting, their candidate, if there's any violence underneath this candidate, then this candidate is not allowed to run for elections for student council. And that's where we usually have a lot of violence, because of the elections. So if these people got in fights and their candidate is running for office, they should not be allowed to run. So they will force the people that are following them or supporting them to follow the rules. Other than that, you have to change the entire mentality of half of the students. That's about all I can think about to solve the problem. Just punish, when they get punished or disciplined, they have to follow up with it. They can't let them off the hook. Okay? Anyway, thank you.
I think if you want to effectively address the issue of violence in campuses such as the University of Jordan, you first need to address the issue of violence in the childhood of the students as well. Because what I know it to be a pervasive issue in terms of Jordanian education is, especially in the elementary and middle and high schools, you have such a pervasive level of violence that like kids don't even go to school because of it. And of course this culture of violence is going to extend into the university too. And by the time you're trying to address it in the university, it's often too late. So, because then you grow up in a culture of violence and you're going to continue to do what you need to defend yourself and protect your honor, protect your friends. This is just the culture you grow up in.
There are many reasons for violence in general. One of them is the human nature, if the reasons for that is, boys will be boys, as we say, yeah? So one solution for that would be, if it was up to me, I'll make everyone study martial arts, the arts of fighting. So they would understand that violence is not the answer, and that peace generates peace, and fighting will only lead to more fighting. So.
First of all, we want to say about the violence in general, like in the universities. I think we should talk about the violence in the whole world in general also, like, because there's violence in the whole world pro the violence inside the universities. So if we want to change like the violence in our universities, I think we must change something outside the university and the way of education to people.
I think violence at universities is a phenomenon strange to our society. The reasons for that are many, and I think the most important is the lack of proper education for all university students. And I think the key to resolve such an issue lies in the reasons behind it. And I think through culture awareness, through courses taken at the university, we can get rid of this